When we think of the word diet, most of us will think that it's something that we only do just before we go on holiday as a drastic measure to lose weight. But what actually is it? Well, the true definition of the word diet is the foods an animal, person or community habitually eats. And this is something we want to have a positive impact on. It's the foods which you habitually eat. So first, let's take a look at how we can do that by understanding what good nutrition actually is. So number one, good nutrition should be able to provide us with the correct fuel to help us carry out the work that we are doing. So basically this means the energy we get from the foods that we eat should roughly equal the energy we burn carrying out our daily tasks. And this means things like breathing, walking, doing our jobs at work, going to the gym, or playing sport. And number two, we should get as many of the nutrients our body needs from the foods that we eat, without the need for overeating on calories. Number three, our nutrition should improve our health and performance and not deteriorate it. And finally, number four, it should be sustainable, meaning that we should be able to stick to it without the need for crash diets. Now, as we know, the world is experiencing an obesity epidemic, and it's becoming clear that fewer people are meeting these guidelines. And this is partly due to the abundant availability of convenience foods, such as the processed, high sugar, high fat foods we regularly see in shops and supermarkets. So now it's far easier to overconsume on calories and underconsume on the essential nutrients our bodies need. Now, we are typically over-reliant on caffeine and energy drinks to help us get through the day. We don't tend to drink enough water on a daily basis, and as a society, we've become more used to using alcohol as a stress management tool to help us relax and unwind. Now, the effects of this is that we increase our calorie intake and reduce the amount of nutrients our bodies need, ultimately leading us down a road to ill health, where we start to see things like irregular blood sugar patterns, increased fat storage, lower testosterone levels in men, increased stress hormones, and increased blood pressure and cholesterol, again just to name a few. So we need to get back to eating what we call real food. And by this we mean things like whole sources of protein. This means lean meats, fish, eggs, and as well as beans and pulses. We want to be having more fruits and vegetables, choosing a variety of colours, also a selection of nuts and seeds, and finally a range of carbohydrates, things like potato, sweet potatoes, rice or oats. And obviously we're also increasing our water intake with the addition of a few teas and coffees, of course. And this is what our diet should look like for at least 80% of the time, with the other 20% being from whatever you like. So if you like the odd takeaway at the weekend and a few glasses of wine, then that's okay, because the rest of the week is in a much better condition. Now, like we said earlier, it should be sustainable. So you should still be able to enjoy the things you want, like the meal out with friends or the other half, without it negatively affecting your health. And by adopting this way of your nutrition, you should start to see some of the following benefits. Things like better quality sleep, more energy, better concentration, lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, a reduced risk of heart disease, better mood, less illness, better skin, and less stress. So what are your actions from here? Well, you can start by asking yourself these questions before you prepare a meal or before you eat. Number one, have I got a good source of protein? Number two, is there a good source of vegetables on there and is it colourful? Number three, is there a small portion of carbohydrates? And number four, do I have a glass of water with me? Now, by answering these questions before you cook or buying your meals, you can start becoming more consciously aware of the food choices you make and be on your way to eating more real food.